Each and every one of us has an unlimited inner wellspring of spiritual power. You have the ability to transform, create, and heal anything upon which you set your heart and mind. Join me, Sarah Hall, as we learn how to uplift all aspects of your life through spiritual empowerment. Enjoy weekly guided meditations, spiritual discussions on a multitude of topics, and a chance to call in to receive channeled messages from the angels on your spiritual journey. I'm Sarah Hall, and this is Through the Eyes of the Angels. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, we're going to be discussing something that is a key ingredient in holding higher consciousness: trust. According to the angels, trust is so important for us in nurturing a truly happy and healthy life. It also brings us closer to the divine and enables us to stand in our true divine power. But most human beings have had their trust broken at some point in their lives. Those little broken bridges of trust in your heart, they actually matter. They contribute in determining the level of receiving for spiritual energy from divine source in your life. They shape how we experience love. So today, we're going to be taking some important steps together. Today, the angels are going to be guiding you in healing trust issues. Because according to the angels, when we build back trust, we take a profound step in our awakening. Trust is needed to fully awaken to divine love, to the enlightened higher consciousness of our destiny that is love. So, let's start by talking about how trust issues function. The more understanding we have, the better our opportunity for shining light and healing. When a life experience presents us with something painful or fear-inducing, we have a choice with regard to how we will react to it. We can choose to attach to the painful experience and take on fear. And fear, by the way, is the source of illusions and distorted perceptions. It only serves to prolong and create more pain. Or we can choose to witness the painful experience and practice non-attachment to fear. We can step back as the compassionate, trusting observer of the experience and any emotions that come with it, and thereby open up space in our consciousness for healing light, higher perspective, divine truth, and love, allowing those things to swoop in and transform the experience before our eyes. Because with that non-attachment to fear, that non-judgment of fear, not allowing fear to place judgment on the experience, well, then you're opening yourself up to seeing the truth of what's going on before you instead of judging the experience as bad or fearful or wrong, and thereby creating more of that bad or fearful or wrong or hurtful or harmful energy. You're opening the way for something very different. If you align with the consciousness of love, the consciousness of love must appear before you. Love must appear before you. And no matter what an experience seems like at first, it has the power to transform before your eyes based on how you choose to perceive it. Now, I'm definitely not saying that it's always an easy choice to make. It takes incredible willpower and discipline sometimes to practice non-attachment in the face of strong personal emotions. However, one path will result in broken trust, and the other path will result in renewed and strengthened trust. So which would you rather choose? And the beings of higher consciousness who guide and watch over us, the angels, they understand us with deep compassion. They know that it is truly a challenge not to undergo trust loss at some point in our lives. They understand that. But they're here to help us heal it, and they believe in our own miracle power to heal anything and everything in our lives that we might meet without exception. And one step that can offer us healing is, again, to understand, to shine the light of understanding and awareness. So let's look into the angel's perspective regarding what happens after perhaps we make that unconscious choice to attach to fear and allow trust to be eroded. The result of attaching to fear after a trauma or heartbreak or disappointment or seeming loss is that we create grievances and defenses within our psyche and lodge those energies within our emotional energy body. A grievance is an attachment to the painful experience. A grievance is when we hold on to what caused us pain, when we grip onto pain in the heart. And then that gripping becomes a complaint that functions like a skipping record, repeatedly broadcasting the message, I am unwell, I am unsafe, I am a victim, I am hateful, I am frightened. A grievance, in other words, is a strong judgment. A strong judgment made against your reality, in which you are choosing to see it from the eyes of fear. The fearful message that a grievance broadcasts in your reality is essentially a protest against well-being. It is a choice not to experience love. It is a choice instead to keep playing the same part of the record over and over and over again in order to scan the horizon for future potential threats. Remind yourself threatening things are out there and then look for them. It's a subtle state of fear that the lower self is convinced will somehow keep us safe. But holding on to a burning ember will not heal or erase your burn, or somehow better prepare you for the next burn. It will only prolong and deepen the wound, crowding out your mental and emotional availability for love. So be careful with grievances, either seen and known to you, the ones that you're aware of, or unseen and unconsciously held, the ones you're not necessarily aware of. Because if you hold on to them long enough, you might mistakenly attach them to your identity and thereby create self-inflicted blockages against your true divine nature as an unlimited and powerful being who is an instrument for the presence of God and all its miracles. The blockages that arise from grievances are defenses. When we attach to fear, we often attach to the belief that we are not safe and cannot trust. And then in order to ensure that we do not let down our guard and trust, the ego, or fear-based identity, convinces us to build mighty walls of pain around ourselves. Ego convinces us that these walls will shut out future pain and harden us against the potential of being hurt again. But of course, you cannot shut out pain by attaching to pain. It is only you who have created the belief, the judgment, the condition of, I am not safe, I am attacked. The attachment to fear makes that assumption and then creates a reality in which that is seemingly true. So the defenses we put up then are actually attacks against the self. And the Course in Miracles teaches this. Defenses are attacks. Attacks are defenses. If a defense is an attachment to fear and pain, it can only serve to attack your well-being by creating more fear and pain in your reality. And those defenses, so long as we hold them up, block the natural repairing of trust that would flow. Those defenses don't just, albeit unsuccessfully, block out the hurt you're trying to hide from. They also block out love. Although they are usually unsuccessful at completely blocking out love. But those defenses often limit your experience of love enough to the point where you will start feeling hungry, deprived, lost, unwell. You see, love is food, medicine, breath in your lungs, sustenance. It is your nature, and it is your instinct not to part with your nature. So when there is less love, your instincts speak up loudly in order to convince you to reach out for love again, to become one with who you really are again. And then your instincts, your feelings broadcast feelings of well-being. So now that we see how grievances and defenses work, we see that broken trust essentially limits the amount of access you allow yourself to God. It limits the amount of love that you allow in your life and limits, therefore, the amount of well-being. And by the way, for those of you who are interested in law of attraction and manifestation, broken trust limits your capacity to manifest. Grievances and defenses essentially limit the flow of source energy that you allow through your life. They create strong restrictions for source energy with regard to what you will and will not allow to appear in your reality. So essentially, broken trust is a breakage in your flow as a spiritual channel. It's a disruption in the flow of higher consciousness and spiritual power, obscuring your concept of who and what you are and what your purpose is. As trust breaks, we forget those things, don't we? And the ego's fear-based identity forms in the place of the truth. Now, on the other hand, without grievances or defenses, your true divine nature will actually just begin to flow again. Trust will be restored because it's your natural state. So if there's nothing there to disrupt it, it flows. Like a river and a dam. Break down the dam in the river and the water will flow. It knows what to do. It's not going to stop flowing because it's used to not flowing there. It will flow. In other words, it doesn't take rocket science to learn how to trust again after trust is broken. It doesn't take a PhD in psychology. It doesn't take decades of therapy and learning some foreign intangible thing. Trust is your natural, God-given state of openness and allowing. That is the definition of trust. You already have trust in the foundational coding of your consciousness. And all it takes to restore it and experience it fully again is to release grievances and defenses. All it takes to live in a regular state of trust is to regularly practice releasing the temptation to attach to fear and instead use every instance in your life, whether you're tempted to judge an experience as bad or good, as an opportunity to trust what you're being given. Humble your ego. Humble the judgments that you've made on your life. Humble the way that you're perceiving things. And trust, because no matter the appearances, everything in this world has the potential to serve you, to serve your alignment with your original and destined consciousness of love. And in that consciousness of love, anything is possible. So if you're trying to heal trust in your life, you're trying to bring it back after a moment when it was broken, you can say to yourself, yes, okay, I'm going to release grievances and defenses. And then maybe a week later, a month later, you have issues of trust popping again over the same thing. It means go back to the drawing board and keep practicing. There are more grievances and defenses to release. That's all it is. Simple as that. So practice becoming aware of where grievances or defenses might be lingering in your psyche. It is worth it when discomfort or distrust arises to sit in observation of your heart and ask it, okay, where does this come from? Am I holding onto defenses or grievances here? And then observe what those defenses or grievances are. Listen to their voices. Witness. And then ask, okay, where did they come from? Where did they originate? When did I make this choice to hold on to this state of being, this thing, this energy that is not me, that blocks me from me? And then just witness all that comes through. Really honestly observe what is there in the deeper layers of your consciousness. You don't have to be afraid of what you're holding on to in your consciousness. No more than you have to be afraid of the little shadows under your bed, worrying that they might turn into monsters. If you shine your flashlight under the bed, those shadows don't just go and hide in the corner so that they can turn into a monster again later. When you shine light onto shadows, onto darkness, they become light. Flip on the light switch in the room and the darkness literally turns into light itself. So what is essentially that practice of shining the light? How do we do that? That's the practice of forgiveness. Forgiveness essentially is shining a light so that we can see truth, so that we can see things as they really, really are. Saying, I forgive is essentially to say, I allow myself to see this as it really is. Let me see the truth. Forgiveness is the healing power that dissolves grievances and defenses. Forgiveness is willfully awakening into higher consciousness and allowing the higher intelligence of love to work its healing, restorative, harmonizing magic on you. And that's all it really takes, is you make the choice to forgive. And just in doing so, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Again, it doesn't take rocket science to figure out how do I forgive. It's a natural, free-flowing force, constantly flowing, that higher divine intelligence of love. When you say, I forgive, the essence of divine consciousness immediately begins to rush to you. And the more you allow that presence to flow, the more that it aligns you with harmony, with well-being, with truthful perspective. Now, another really important consideration to make in strengthening that force of trust in your consciousness, and thereby essentially empowering yourself, is to look at, where am I placing my concept of trust? What am I typically trusting in? You see, a lot of times when people tell me they have trust issues, it's just an issue of misplaced trust. So we have a choice with regard to where we are going to place our trust. We can place our trust in either one of two areas. We either place trust in changing conditional things, or we place our trust in the unchanging, in the unconditional. Where would you rather place your trust? Would you rather place it in things that might disappear, turn to dust, go away? Or would you rather place it in solid ground? Plant your seed in good soil where it can take root, where it can expand in something stable. You see, when we place our trust in changing things, which is a common occurrence, we place our trust, for example, in something like, we could say, our body and its current state of, health and youthfulness and beauty. Well, I hate to break it to you, but just wait a couple of years. The body's going to change. So if your trust was in your youthfulness, your strength, your beauty, and the way that your body worked when you were 20 years old, you might experience that broken trust someday when you are 89 years old and, your body isn't looking the same way. Not a single one of the same cells that you had when you were 20 still exists at all. All of that's completely gone. That's not you. You are not your body. That is not the unconditional. Other people will place their trust in things like, money. And even if they have maybe a good income or a good job where they can trust the flow of money in their lives, placing it in money itself, money is a changing thing. Anything can come along in this world and change an outer condition like that, can't it? But when you place your trust in the unchanging divine presence and the unconditional love of God and the force of God itself, that's where you will experience the kind of trust that doesn't have to waver. That's where you experience the reality of your infinite, uncontested, indestructible safety. Because you see that no matter how much conditions change outside of you, the essence of the divine remains the same. If you look only to that, you just lean in that force, then no matter what changes, your body, your home, your friends, your environment, your finances, your material possessions, no matter what changes, you know that the divine presence is flowing through all those little changing things. Those changing forms might come and go, but the formless essence behind them, it's always there for you, and it's going to show up in another form, and then another one after that, and another one after that, constantly showing up as your safety, your well-being, love, goodness, wholeness, abundance, whatever you want it to be. But it's up to you to choose. It's up to you to choose. Because source energy appears in your life in the form of whatever you're focusing on, of whatever you choose it to be. And you have the power to allow it to show up in its natural, untethered, original form. Eternal love, eternal safety, eternal peace. And you can be its conduit. Trust in it. So you're, in other words, trusting, not changing things as your source, but instead trusting source as your source. This way you'll easily be able to allow the changing tides of life without it disrupting your well-being, your peace. So with that being said, let's now go into a meditation so that we can just go ahead and practice directly experiencing that level of spiritual trust, and through it, receive some healing. So go ahead and take a moment to get comfortable and relaxed in a quiet environment. And when you are ready, we will begin. Taking a nice, long, deep, healing breath. As you breathe, notice your heartbeat, relaxing and calming into a gentle and restful rhythm. Notice that feeling of rest and receptivity spreading into every cell of the body and every particle of your consciousness. As you continue to breathe deeply, feel as that relaxation flows from the body into the mind. Thoughts growing still, and a beautiful feeling of peace flowing throughout your being as you let go of any past tension, any past effort, any energy that does not serve you. The angels are with you. Archangel Michael appears before you, channeling a beautiful river of soft white and blue energy into your spirit. Breathe that river of energy in, surrendering and trusting in the divine flow of the universe. Allow that river of energy to move into the deepest planes of your psyche, into your emotional body, into the system of deep beliefs that you hold. Notice and allow as that beautiful divine light cleanses any heaviness or tension, any blockages, any heavy energy from the past. With your next deep, healing breath, think the following thought with your inner spiritual voice. I trust. And then breathe deeply, feeling as trust begins to flow. An increase of beautiful divine light moving through the deep layers of your consciousness. And as you observe, witness if there are any areas where that will to trust seems to bump up against challenges. Allow your wise heart to show you where forgiveness is needed, so that trust may be the leading force that flows through you, giving you full access to divine power. Witness. And towards any past challenging memories, beliefs, or feelings, think the following thought with your inner spiritual voice. It is safe for me to trust. I forgive all grievances and defenses from the past. Now, it is safe for me to trust. And so I allow trust to flow unconditionally now. Take in another deep, healing breath, feeling as Archangel Michael's beautiful energy that channels through you now brightens and strengthens, growing bigger and stronger until it becomes the strongest vibration in your being, letting go of everything, relaxing and trusting as you surrender to the divine flow of the highest harmony and the highest consciousness of love. Breathe deeply and feel as that beautiful, restorative, healing energy now flows into all past memories of pain. Any past limiting beliefs that you once held. Restoring and healing any illusions of lack. Archangel Michael reminds you that you are a being of eternal, unconditional, and infinite abundance. Just by nature of your existence. Love and abundance flow infinitely, without limit. Trust this truth. Allow yourself to remember this truth. Feel as this truth now spreads into every particle of your consciousness and every cell of your body. You are a sparkling diamond, shining with divine light. With your next deep healing breath, breathe that beautiful presence down into your belly, feeling it spread into the physical body, every cell, feeling as if you are grounding and bringing back that higher presence into the here, into the now, into every part of your life. And as you do so, breathe deeply and think again the thought, I trust. I trust. Archangel Michael now places a shield of deep indigo blue light all around you. Breathe deeply and visualize feeling that indigo blue light surrounding you like a thick, powerful shield. Feeling how solid and strong the energy of trust is at your fingertips now. Take in one more long and deep healing breath. And then on your next exhale, you may open your eyes and shift back into the room, into the present moment that you are in. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in that meditation. It always feels so good to feel your presence with that. So now is the time to take your questions and angel reading requests. So we are going to go over and see who has submitted requests. I do see that there are already plenty of reading requests submitted, but if you're listening and you would also like to ask a question or get an angel reading, you can type your request into the chat at bringmetolife.com. Today, I'm going to be working with the Work Your Light Oracle cards by Rebecca Campbell. Very, very beautiful oracle cards. So let's just go ahead to our first reading for today. The reading request comes in from Erin. And Erin says, I would love to know what I need to focus on that needs to be cleared or released at this time, family line or personal. Thank you so much for your request, Erin. I am now going to tune into the angels and pull a couple of cards for you and see what the angels are showing us here. All right, so I'm already starting to get a little bit of an energy coming in as I'm already just shuffling the cards. The angels are pointing to maternal lineage, mothering relationships in your life, female figures. And they're showing us that something is really ready to evolve, grow, and change here. There's a strong feeling of some kind of healing, some kind of change, some kind of growth. And the word that the angels are giving us as far as what that growth is rebalancing, particularly between the forces of giving and receiving. So it might be helpful, Erin, if you think about perhaps your maternal lineage, your own mother, female relationships in your life, or other just kind of mothering archetypes, and examine, okay, are there any areas where I have witnessed or been taught or even experienced myself directly an imbalance between giving and receiving. Particularly something that kind of feels like it wants to come to the surface is this feeling of I give and give and give and I don't receive. Someone or something, in your life that kind of echoed that particular sentiment of there seems to be a kind of imbalance between giving and receiving. So let's go ahead and turn the cards over and see what steps the angels will give you for this. Oh my gosh, I love this. So the first card that came through is the Priestess card, which is a huge synchronicity because, wow, I mean, that tells us right away that essentially this is divine feminine energy that's being healed in your life right now. The Priestess represents the empowered feminine. It represents the mother in a leadership role where that mothering archetype is in power. So you can ask yourself, how do I feel called to lead in my life? Do I feel called to make a difference, to be strong, to stand up and express or do something of importance? And if so, what needs to be healed in order for me to step into that power the most? And look into female energy to see where that healing can increase for you. Now, the second card that you have is a card called Take a Break. Take a break. So this is usually a card that represents retreat, essentially taking a step back and taking a moment just to examine your life. Examining your heart, seeing what's inside of your heart, for example. This is a really good thing to do. Taking a break from maybe the hustle and bustle of everyday life, which, when we're engaged in it, it can make it very hard to hear what our heart is trying to tell us. In other words, it requires stillness in order to do the examining, the deeper healing that you need right now. So quiet and healing will help you with the deeper clearing in your life. And then the final card is the Great Gathering, the Great Gathering. So what I'm hearing the angels tell us as I tune into this card is law of attraction. They're saying law of attraction. Law of attraction is reprogramming in your life as you complete any of the healing that you're being guided to do. And they're showing us that law of attraction is going to be giving you more and more opportunities to connect with new people. On one level, they're showing us new people coming in terms of a soul tribe, sort of like a soul family, soul-based relationships, spiritual relationships with like-minded people. Maybe even recognizing or appreciating where relationships in your life already have that potential, but then those relationships get to evolve and grow. So new people coming in personally, but then also I keep getting pulled to your life's purpose. So just as the angels kind of asked you a moment ago, do you feel called to be powerful? Do you feel called to be a leader? Do you feel called to stand up and express something? They're showing us that law of attraction, as you do this healing work on yourself, this inner work, it is expanding your reach, expanding your potential to reach other people. One message that's coming through really important here right now, and this is for everybody that's listening, really, really strong message from the angels, is they're telling us that when we heal trust, as it was our theme for today, of course, when we heal that, when we heal, grievances and defenses, blockages, small thinking, limitations, all of those things that can come when trust is broken, right? When we heal those things, we put ourselves in a position to actually hold a greater amount of space for spiritual energy. So they're saying this, you can kind of visualize it, that when we hold on to grievances, blockages, mistrust, that kind of thing, it pinches off and contracts the flow of energy. It pinches off how much spiritual energy you're able to hold. It makes you thereby less available to hold space for other people, whether that's in attracting a relationship in your life or whether that's in affecting other people in terms of your life purpose, the mark that you want to make on the world, the work that you want to do in your life. But the more that you repair that trust, you liberate yourself from those limitations. You liberate yourself from those blockages, and your energy field actually grows. So the angels are saying, imagine, if you will, an energy field that is expanding out around you, that's really, really, really big and bright and fertile. And that big and bright and powerful, fertile energy field is able to hold space for a lot of people. So that includes attracting in new relationships personally, where you're much more available for connecting in love, and it expands out your potential in being able to connect as far as how effective you are, how great your leadership may be able to be in this world. So it is so worth it to do your inner work, so worth it to heal, no matter how challenging the healing work might be. So worth it to be honest and authentic with yourself about exactly what needs to heal. Don't be afraid to look at yourself. Don't be afraid to see your shadow side. Don't be afraid to take responsibility for how you've contributed to it. Don't be afraid to acknowledge the beliefs you'd attached to in the past and how exactly they've affected your reality. Because according to the angels, if you can look at those things bravely, and again, invite in that energy of forgiveness, love, pure presence of God, you will see who you really are, and you are unlimited. You are unlimited, and you do have the ability to affect many people's lives. So thank you so much, Erin, for bringing this question forward. I think that it will help a lot of people that are actually listening to these messages right now. So thank you again so much. Let's go to our next reading. Okay, we have a reading request from... Oh, wait, no, that's not a reading request. There we go. Okay, here's one. This one's from Kelsey. And Kelsey says, I was wondering if I could ask what guidance or advice my angels and guides have for me with navigating my relationship with my mother. Oh, wow, guys, we have a theme today, don't we? There is a long history of ups and downs with toxic relationships, addiction, and manipulation. I'm feeling stuck in what to do. We haven't talked in a while, and I feel it's time where I need to take a step, but not sure which direction to go. Thank you so much, Kelsey. Thank you for this question. Obviously, the angels have big, important messages that they want to give all of us today about mother healing, mother-related issues, and you are a conduit. So thank you for listening to your intuition, your inner nudge, and submitting this question, because I know that this answer will not only, of course, benefit you, but benefit other people here, since we've got definitely a synchronized theme going on. That's pretty cool. So right away, I'm just tuning in and listening to the angels. Okay, yeah. They're showing us right away the energies that are there in your relationship with your mother. What I'm feeling when I tune into her is actually a lot of pain. I'm seeing that there's a lot of pain and a lot of fear that she holds on to, that she attaches to. One of the big fears that she holds is the fear of not being able to support, not being able to have a backbone, not being able to support herself, others, to support, roles that the world might expect her to play. For some reason, there's this fear of, kind of not trusting that she's powerful. Fear of failure with regard to support, not trusting the self. So the result of that they're showing us is that it almost feels like for your mom, the safe place where she sometimes has retreated is in being kind of immature, like going into a more youthful time in her life, expressing in ways that maybe seem irresponsible, really shirking responsibility, almost as if to try to throw an unconscious tantrum that says, I'm no good at supporting, so don't ask me to do it. I'm asking the world to take care of me. I'm going to be a mess so that the world will have to step it up and support me so that I don't have to face the fear of not being good enough to properly offer support where support is needed. Again, whether it's for herself or for others or for a situation, doesn't matter. It's a fear of support. So that's where we're seeing that big challenge. Maybe as well, Kelsey, you might have had moments in your life where you've thought like, gosh, I feel like I'm more of the adult than she is, or I'm more of the mother and she's more of the child. Does that resonate for you? Does that resonate? Because yeah, that's just kind of the dynamic that we're getting here. That's where we see some of that manipulative behavior going on. It's manipulative behavior that essentially says, don't make me be the one that, is standing in that position of support. I'm so afraid of failure there. So afraid in terms of maybe like a lack of support that she could have experienced in her life that caused her to feel afraid of this in the first place. So that's why that's there. That's why that's there. And we look at that only because shining the light of understanding and seeing something as it is helps us basically to forgive easily. It helps us not to feel as if we're reeling anymore in the energy of those ups and downs, feeling like we're on a roller coaster ride. When we step off the roller coaster ride and we just shine the light of understanding on a situation, we can see it, with a little bit less of that emotional roller coaster ride feeling. I know it's still hard. It's still, we can still definitely feel the emotions involved, but essentially that's where the angels are showing us they want you to bring a little bit more understanding so that now you know what to forgive. Now you know what it is you are accepting, because acceptance is a piece of forgiveness. We kind of need to accept a situation as it is in order to help ourselves forgive it. Because so long as we're holding a grievance against a situation, in other words, we might hold a grievance against, gosh, it's so unfair. Why couldn't my mom just shown up and been like a good mom for me? Totally valid feeling, by the way. I get it. I would probably feel the same way, for a time, right? We all probably would. But that's a grievance. That's a grievance. And what we've learned from the angels is that grievances don't serve us. So accepting your mom as she is doesn't mean I agree with her and I approve of, her manipulations, her addictive patterns, the negative things. It doesn't mean that. It means I'm simply willing to look at the situation as it is and accept it as it is. I accept that this is what she has chosen to do. I accept that this is her state of being. I accept that these are her wounds, and this is the reality that she's living in right now. This is the set of limitations that she's attached to. And it is not your job, my dear, to fix her. It's not your responsibility to change her, to live her life for her, to learn her spiritual lessons for her, to make her see differently. Sure, other people can help us a little bit. They can give a little bit of advice, or they can point us in a particular direction that might help us, but no one else does the healing for someone else. We only heal ourselves, really. Well, God heals us, that divine presence heals us, but we're the one that says, okay, yes, I allow it. So only your mom can make those choices. Only your mom can change her own perspective. And you don't need to be attached to changing her or to holding on to the condition that I need her to be a different person in order for me to feel okay with her and to feel at peace with her. You can accept her, in other words, as she is, which will be better for your sanity, better for your health. Accept her as she is. And now I'm allowing that to inform how the relationship is going to proceed. So I'm allowing that to inform what kind of boundaries I need in this relationship. Your mom has already taught you the boundaries that you need to hold with her. So trust that. Trust that. Go ahead in your heart and do a little bit of soul searching. You're right that it is time to take a new step. I can feel that for you. I can definitely feel that for you. I also, by the way, just turned over a card, and it's the yes card. So it's saying that what you're thinking of already in terms of the step you want to take, you're already going in the right direction. So if, for example, you're thinking you need more space, or you need, maybe to have a talk or to step out of her life, or, whatever it is that you feel you need to do. The angels are just pointing to you, and they're saying you're already starting to go in the right direction in terms of where your thoughts are headed. Your mom has already taught you what boundaries you need in this relationship, because you can already very clearly see how certain levels of closeness and openness, with her, how that will make you feel. So boundaries are healthy. Boundaries are healthy because while love is an unconditional force, right? Relationships aren't unconditional. Relationships are containers that allow love to flow. Sort of like fire needs a container. Fire needs a hearth. It needs the proper space holder, or else it'll go out. It's got nowhere to be. So give the relationship the right container, meaning, yes, there are certain conditions or certain standards, certain boundaries that you want to hold with another human being. That's just what Earth life is about at this point in our evolution of consciousness. So you're already on the right track. The angels want you to know that they are with you. I see Archangel Gabriel really watching over your relationship with your mom. And I see Archangel Michael really watching over you, especially helping you with the boundaries thing. So call on both of these angels and then just get really honest with yourself. Get really honest with your heart and listen to what your needs are. Listen to your needs and take the proper action. Because once, my dear, you make those boundaries, you make those healthy, proper boundaries, essentially what will happen is that you will find yourself in a position where you've got the right opportunity to heal yourself. So all the pain of the past from this relationship, anything that you might still be hanging on to that has resulted in challenges in other relationships, other fears, other pain, other issues, and that kind of thing, that gets to heal. That is able to heal once you've made peace and you've done this forgiveness work and you've created the proper space and the boundaries. Sometimes you need to step away from what's hurting you in order to heal. So if you burned your hand in a fire, you've got to take it out of the fire first in order to start the healing. So you know what to do, my dear, and the angels are helping you every step of the way. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kelsey, for your question. Okay, let's go ahead and see if we can just go ahead and squeeze in one more. We have a reading request from Jordan. Jordan says, I've suddenly developed a small abscess on my breast. My doctor assures me that it's nothing serious, but I've been close to 2 women who died of breast cancer, so it still makes me nervous. Do the angels have any advice for me about it? Also, how can I stop worrying about my health in general? I've always been a bit of a hypochondriac, and since the pandemic started, it's been worse. Hi, Jordan. I totally understand. I can definitely relate. I totally understand that feeling of concern. So first things first, I do see Archangel Raphael standing over you, the healing angel. Call upon him often. And he is communicating, first of all, that all is well. You have nothing to worry about. I actually feel your body really protecting you. Your body's really, really strong. And I feel it working in your favor. The angels are showing us that the more, and you probably may know this at some level, but the more that you hold on to an energy of trust and love and feeling safe in your body, the better your body is able to do its job and function naturally, which is in a state of health and well-being. The more fear we hold on to, fear energy does create health issues, as we know. Stress is related to health issues. So focus on that releasing of fear. The angels are showing us trust that all is well, because it really is. It really is. I'm scanning your physical health with Archangel Raphael right now. Okay. And he's showing us a little bit more about that abscess. Again, it feels 100% harmless to me actually too. So I really agree with your doctor there. Totally harmless, totally fine. It feels like something about it is related to, they're showing us your lymphatic system and your hormonal system. and the way that these systems are influenced by the level of cleanliness in the body. So again, you're totally fine. I feel like your health is really good. Relatively, you've got a good level of cleanliness in the body. But if you want to see the lymphatic system really cleanse and then keep really healthy breaths through your whole life, see the endocrine system cleansed completely, so that's your hormonal system, go ahead and do a regular lifestyle of kind of detox. So that's not to say like go on a militant kind of trajectory right now where you're crazy about what food you put in your body and don't put in your body and that kind of thing. Just think of really manageable, easy steps that you can actually implement in your life kind of on an everyday basis, where you're drinking plenty of water, you're making sure that you're not getting exposed to, maybe petroleum and plastics a lot, that your food is not sitting in that kind of stuff, so that you're not, imbibing that stuff anyways. Again, for you, I feel that you're healthy. So even if you did, like all of us in the modern world do, imbibe a little bit of, plastic particles that end up sometimes in our food that's sitting in plastic, or our water bottles that are plastic water bottles. Even if you did imbibe a little bit of that, I see your liver and I see that it's strong and I see that it knows what to do, and it would just clean it right out with time and you'd be fine. But if you want to like turn up the dial on your health and really be incredibly preventative and feel really, really good, by the way, because I can see that you are also highly spiritually sensitive, so you'll probably feel really good if you do this. Think about detox. Think about surrounding yourself with really clean, healthy products in terms of the hygiene products and cleaning products that you use around your house. Think about really clean foods, choosing organic if there's an option to do that, storing your food in maybe glass containers or other healthy, kind of containers and that kind of thing, maybe not microwaving in plastic, certainly things like that. And increasing again, they're showing us the amount of hydration, but really clean, good, high quality, high source of water. They're also showing me juices, by the way, rainbow colors of different juices, but especially green. So if you can increase the color green in your diet overall, all shades of green, by the way, they're showing me light green, dark green, blue green, get it all in there. And they're actually showing us that you're going to get this leveling up and how much energy you have throughout the day. And they're showing this actually like aging in reverse, anti-aging. It's exciting. I'm actually filled with this really beautiful emotion of excitement and joy as your body, gets this opportunity to just take, again, really easy, manageable, everyday steps where you've got a little bit more of that healthy stuff, healthy practice, going on, and you have nothing to worry about. It looks like everything will go beautifully. So thank you so, so much, Jordan, for your question. It looks like we have just come to the end of our time. So I know a couple of others had submitted questions. If I didn't get to, I'm so sorry. Do come back in next time, and I would love to have a chat with you again. Also, of course, I will be back next month for Through the Eyes of the Angels on Thursday, December 17th. So that's going to be the Thursday before magical solstice. I love the solstice, you guys. I love it. It's going to be winter solstice here in the Northern Hemisphere, which is one of my favorite times of year. It's just so, so exciting. So as tradition holds on this show, we're going to do our solstice stories episode of Through the Eyes of the Angels. So be sure to tune into that. It's going to be super, super exciting. Also, if you'd like to listen to today's episode again or share it with a friend, you can find it on your favorite podcast listening platform. And of course, I'll also share the links on my social media pages for you too. As well, of course, do keep in touch with me on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and that kind of thing. I always post extra angel messages for you guys there, and love sharing with you guys. You can also visit sarahhall.com, my website, if you'd like to learn a little bit more about working with me and the angels. I do have a new coaching program right now with a few limited spots available in it, if anybody wants to do deeper work with the angels. So contact me and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. Otherwise, it's always such an honor to share with you. And I just wanted you to know that I'm wishing you a beautiful rest of the day and can't wait to connect again. Bye.